Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's game number 1 between Nub and Nico. Can Nub as USF on Road to Tunis win the game, or will Nico as deck go ahead? What do you think, Mr. Aussie?
Well, I think Nub is a better player, but I think, like, in a tournament setting, going for Rifleman against Dak is a mistake. Like, with two players with the same level, you're just gonna bleed against Dak. And I think going MG on Bazooka is just the better, like, the most optimal way to play. But I spoke a bit with Nub, and he's not fond of MG spam, so I understand.
Really? In 2v2 he molested me with those MGs.
Rifleman ready.
Maybe, but I think in 1v1 is a bit more precautious in what he does. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, amazing Via by Nico on the 10-pointer by the mosque. I like that.
Yeah. That's a good idea, but I don't know. I think that's a bit anecdotal. Like, he was better off wearing the green cover a bit on the left, where that is going to go, because, like, these kind of barbed wires are not that good, and I think he lost a bit of tempo. Like, better capping the point, getting into the mosque, and keep the vision. But that's my
You build so fast now that I don't think that's a huge downside, though.
You're our victory point.
Yeah, but you know what? In this case, I would go for Panzerjäger command and use the reinforced barbed wires.
Well, interesting.
Like,
Not
to be
the
really
S-Mines.
annoying.
You're the victory point.
Always feels like the S-Mine.
I
The
think
mine choices
the S-Mine are good, but, like, in a tournament
In
setting
the field.
where people are gonna expect them, I think the reinforced barbed wires can be very, very annoying, because you need to destroy them with AT guns or heavy crush, which you have very late for the heavy crush. So you can really, like, lock down the map, which can allows you to take very favorable engagement as Dak.
Nico's first engagements went horribly wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
He lost the mosque even though he had this wire, but he just gave up on this position, and the Panzer Pioneer just got beaten up.
Yeah, I'm already critical of Nico's build. I think the 250 is way too early. And like, he might get naded. He's gonna be up against a lot of US force infantry, and he's not gonna be able to cap the map. Like, the bike is not enough. He needs the bike to fight decent engagement. So
Boys will have grenades.
Yeah, bike
as we
capping
speak,
is always... On the one hand, you want to use it for capping because of its speed, but on the other hand, it's such a good damage dealer, especially once you hit Veterancy 1.
you need the GPS. On here, like, just Rifleman push is enough to force Nico out of the map, which you really don't want as Dak of the game.
Grenades are making their way to frontline forces.
Nade tech, or did... Yeah, here we go, nades are
Yeah,
out.
net tech.
And it does nothing.
Yeah, I would have waited a bit more.
Not a huge fan of USF going nades first.
No, I think that's good. But I think he revealed a bit too fast.
Oh, I think this was a huge mistake, this smoke from...
Yeah, I was thinking this was a good idea, but it's gonna allow Nico to hold on the cutoff for a bit more time.
Initiating construction of the infantry
Oh,
support center.
he might lose the 250 for against the engineer squad. If the engineer squad push, the 250 is dead.
No, Nico, no full retreats will lose the cutoff. Bike is combat ready so soon.
And that's why I don't like the 250. Because if he had gone for the second Panzer Grenadier a bit faster, like the Grenadier takes is like faster to build, so you can really have your two PGs with the bike on picking fights on the map that are very favorable for you,
It's done.
which he wasn't able to do here because of the 250, which, like, doesn't do enough damage. Mage.
Contact.
Yeah.
Capture point
At
is
least
being overrun.
that's the way I see it.
I know I might be not a popular opinion, but I think double Panzer or Palm Grenadiers is not enough. You need to play triple. Like, you need the proper main line, and you don't delay your tech that much anyways, because till you have the fuel for 1.5 and half track, you not usually have enough manpower to afford the Palm Grenadier and
One of our
the
sectors
Flak.
is now in enemy hands.
Well, I think the contrary. I think triple gram is a mistake because you're gonna bleed, and you don't want to bleed. And at least what I do right now with DAC is 2 PGs on 2 pyres, and I make a grenade launcher on one of the pyres. I feel like it works very well because the pyre does so much damage. The grenade launcher.
We've lost control of a sector.
We have an MG34 on the field. Probably
Yeah.
the worst MG in the game.
Yeah, I mean it's a good crowd control, but
But
I
you
would have
the
liked.
Flak, right? Who also has a great crowd control and is way more mobile.
Yeah, and I would have made acid grants because he has a 250 on the field.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Well, Panzerjäger Collins, that's pretty standard.
The enemy have
I think I would have
taken territory
greeted
from
and
us.
went Flak first and then gotten the call in.
Assault half-tracks will
He
lead
has
our
the
boys
heal
to the
from
front.
the other half track.
Enemy forces
Yeah, I think he
converging on the
should have
point.
gone for the. I'm just looking at the manpower in the bank. Because it doesn't need the Jaeger right away.
We must take it back.
He already has a 250 for the hills. So it's a bit of a overkill right now, I think.
Assault half-track, rolling out.
We have combat half track getting the 76 upgrade right away,
Yeah.
which also means we have Pershing.
Exchangeable parts are available to rapidly
think-
Change of
retrofit our
pace.
half-tracks.
I think I would have delayed the upgrade till I saw the LV, so I have the Pintle to do damage.
I think it makes sense because against stack, like I haven't played in a few days, so I'm a bit like not right on point, but I don't know. I think you don't want to have like the flag roam around on the map really, so
Territory
I like just have enough infantry to apply enough pressure. And with the 75, he has the RT as well to like dislodge the MG44.
Yeah, that's a good point. The RT is really, really strong. Exchangeable
Yeah.
parts are in though, so he could technically do some
Enemy movement,
trickery
infantry
there,
point.
going for quad and then into the 76. By the way,
It's like that's every 120 seconds, so
yeah, but you can do it. I think on the first time it's really fast,
Enemy control.
and if
probably.
if you want to save ammo, you can actually go for medic first because that's the cheapest, and then go into the 76. You save like 10 or 5 ammo, not much, but
Yeah, I don't think that's worth the time invest.
Hitting the
that's
field.
fair. It's a time investment though. You can delay
Because, like,
heal though with that, so
Yeah, but I think the sooner you get the medical station, the better, because like it scales so much. I don't think you really need the like the med station,
They have taken our victory
the
point.
medical conversion. I mean.
250 finds the mine. We have no flak in the build at the moment for Nico.
Yeah, and that's why I like to go for 2 Panzer Pyres, because I can make Panzerbüchs, Grenade Launcher on one, and the Minesweeper on the other one.
Yeah, Minesweeper is so important as deck. It's really
Yeah, especially as
expensive.
tag.
For whatever reason, deck has the most expensive sweeper in the game. But
Yeah, I don't know why.
you have technically more. You get more than average repair speed with it. You get more repair
Yeah,
speed.
but is it worth 50 munitions?
No, it's
I'm
not.
sure.
Oh, panic! Second Panzerjäger. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. I really think it comes down to the 250 we saw, which was made too fast, in my opinion. Because of that, he wasn't able to like keep the pressure on the map, and he wasn't able to get the flag track. And now he's like so behind that I don't think he can crawl back from this position.
It feels so
Maybe
weird
I'm
what
wrong.
he's playing though. No quad. Like quad is basically the bread and butter unit for deck.
M1918 automatic rifle.
I think it's a good call because with the 275, he's just like gonna get shot down
Yeah, but
every time.
what
Gonna
is he
waste some
doing
time.
now? He can't really win infantry engagements with his palm grenadiers.
Yeah, but
And he
that's
can't rely
kind
on
of
the MG, because the double 76
problem
will
with
deny it
that.
as well.
I mean, I think the best call for him would be to go mechanized company and make a Stug.
Yeah, tier 2.5 might do the
Sector's been
trick.
overrun. It's theirs now.
But I think he just messed his early game. And against a player like Nub, or like any good player, as Dag, you're gonna suffer.
We have Dank Hunters, the Panzerschreck upgrade.
Yeah,
Enemy has
same
300
thing.
points remaining.
Like, he's up against 75. Doesn't need to advance 80 munitions for a Shrek. Like, I think the Panzer 80 thing are just enough. And I would have make,
He gets
LMG.
one.
yeah, but
The Shrek
it's not a
cannon
good trade.
clutch.
He lost all of his heals.
No heals.
Commander, we're losing territory.
This kind of feels like game.
Improvements to our infantry logistics.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the 250 that you made too early. Or if you want to go very early 250, you make Panzerpire spam. Because you can like have some decent engagement, but
Enemy movement near a victory point. We've dropped the enemy to 250 points.
yeah, I'm not convinced. I think Panzerjäger Command is good, but you need to. It's the same thing. You need to Panzerpires because you need to use the mines. And with only one Panzerpire, you need it to for the fight.
Cost of reinforcing
So-
the forces.
Yeah.
And we also see why USF is so good.
Well, USF has though the advantage that it basically does not need to attack anymore. He has everything that he needs in tier 1 and tier 2. And Nico's now kind of the pressure. What is he going to do? He kind of needs to attack. But Nap just can save no resources into Pershing. If
Yeah.
the game will go this long.
I think Nico, I don't know.
Has fallen to 200 points.
Like, the thing is, there is I think a really skill difference between the two players. Like, Nub is a better player, and Nico made a huge mistake with the 250. You can't make like, you need to play very well to punch above your weight, and he wasn't able to do that with this game, I think.
I think it was a build order issue.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
definitely.
biased because obviously Nico's part of the German Discord where I spend a lot of time in recent days. So I watch him play a
Yeah.
lot, and he improved a lot over the last 2 or 3 months. But it does not feel like he's playing to his best.
Yeah, and I think that people didn't took him seriously before, which is like, it's a human bias, you know?
Yeah.
When you play the people, you know if you're like better than the guy you're playing or not. And I think Nico, a lot of the people were not playing him very seriously. He improved, and now people are looking at him a bit more as a threat, and therefore they play a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
And
Heavy machine gun has been requisitioned.
like here again, like making the Panzer Army command, like the problem is 75 mil are gonna pen your P3s. There are
Reports of enemy movement near our victory
1,
point.
2, 3 snares in the field.
Yeah, P3s are not the answer.
Victory point now under enemy control.
Accidental.
He could and should have made Stugs, I think.
Sector lost.
I still think
No
tier
contact.
2.5 is the best way to play Panzerjäger Command.
Yeah.
Like the
And
synergy
you can-
is insanely. The Margers with the
Yeah, the crucial
shock tactics is amazing. You have the Stück E that really is good against infantry. You can play a really low tech and keep up with USF.
Assault half track.
Yeah, it takes some time, but like right now it doesn't have any vehicle in the field, so it doesn't have combined arms. 2 PGs are just not enough.
Germans
They're
down
just
to
getting
75 points. Stay
just getting
ahead.
pushed everywhere on the
75
map.
points.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
trolling the toll.
The battle is ours, Commander.
You really fall apart there.
That's why deck is so complicated to play. Like, if you make one mistake, it can really bite you in the ass.
Yeah,
Can't really do
Deck
anything about it.
has an insanely hard time to play from behind. Probably the faction with the worst playing comeback mechanics because everything is so damn expensive and everything is like relying on other units to be good. You don't have a unit that is on his own good.
Oh.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with game number 2 in a couple of seconds. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 between Nap and Nico. Is Nap able to replicate his amazing game number 1? Or will Nico regain his strength and make it into an ace game? What are we expecting, my dear friend Ozzy?
Well, I would say that I think well, Lem is the better player, but Wehrmacht Brit is
Pioneer are airborne.
I don't know if the matchup favors that much of faction.
Location secured.
I haven't played
Grenadiers assemble.
enough to have a strong opinion, so we need to see what's going on.
Nap going for Fortune Pioneers.
Yeah, I know what's going to do. He's going to wait for his first engagement with like the Pios and the Grenadiers, and he's gonna probably drop the Falchion Pios in the engagement because that's gonna allow him to win.
Sounds good. Nice wire coming down from Nico.
Yeah, you see, that's way better than what he did, because here he denies like the cover, and frankly, just denying that small of an area, it wasn't worth it. That's way more useful.
Fortune Pioneers coming in hot on the 5-pointer.
Yeah, I dropped him in the center. Well, I think here Nico made a slight mistake, which is going forward with the sappers without sections behind, because you need to close in. On a map as open as Road to Tunis, like, it's hard to close in on the grants. So I would have just kept one sappers, like the sappers for the capped, and wait a bit to build an army.
Yeah, the first engagement is already lost for Nico. He's 2v1 with the infantry section and the sapper. Alright, I should be back. Yeah, no worries, that's fine. As long as you don't be too loud, that's fine. Alright, at what second are you? I'm at 2:34. Are you? 41 or 31? 41, I will catch up.
Enemy concentration. Fire!
Alright. Give me a second. One, 2, 3, go. 42, 43, 44.
Grenadiers have been
All right. Here we go, we are back.
Enemy contact. Achtung!
Pioneers have secured the location. No contact.
Enemy infantry spotted us.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
We are out of here. He's dead. Leave him.
Overall, map control is relatively even though.
For an officer's quarters.
Both players are scrambling for middle. Not really playing for resources. Oh. That will negate the early heal death from Nico.
Moving. Don't stop for him. MG-15 is on the way. Position beauty shot. Enemy infantry.
He paid for it. And Nub doesn't have any munitions for some reason. Oh, because he paid MG-15. Okay.
First complete.
Did I just miss a wipe? Or did
Yeah,
it just...
me too. He killed sappers, but I didn't know.
It died
so
next
went.
to the building, to the mosque.
Yeah. Well, I'm not convinced by the MG15. I think the grenade launcher is just so
I
much better.
love the MG. I think the grenade launcher is stronger, but if you're in a pinch about ammo, and the enemy has a lot of mobility in his army, the MG is better.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I played the same build as Nub in this tournament, and I went for the grenade launcher, and it was amazing. Frankly, almost won me the game.
The grenade launcher is poggers, especially if you get the opportunity to pick up a second one, because you misplayed. Then it's just a Terminator squad.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
And to speak a bit about macro, I think Nub going for PG Company is kind of a mistake, especially in a map like Road to Tunis, which is very open, and the PGs might really suffer against the Tommies. So I don't know about that.
Yeah. Platoon command
was a lot.
post is up. I wanted to say late, but it's actually not that late, considering.
No,
the
it's
fuel.
late.
Yeah, timing-wise it's late, but considering how much map control Nico had, could have been better, but could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean that's because he paid for the
Yeah.
health.
Oh, Flavor, that might be a toasty infantry
Yeah,
section.
he's playing dangerous games. Oh my god, like here Nub should go for the half track and get Stummel.
Yeah, not a big fan of Pouncer Grenadiers against Brits.
No, I think they are a really big mistake, because with the way Brits that one works, you just get deleted when you try to close it.
Yeah, especially once again, if Nico invests into the Bret upgrade, Pouncer Grenadiers will never close. Never.
You gotta get melted. At least with the like 251 you can smoke with the Stummel. So that can be useful, but here, like the Ember is gonna be all around the map.
Humber
And the
will hit
pike is
really
really
hard.
low.
There's no AT on the field.
Yeah.
We have only 2 Grenadiers, so snare options are limited.
Yeah, you know what? If I was Nico here, I would have just go in and took a snare, because it wouldn't have changed anything. Could have done more damage, I think.
Well, he
But I
can't
mean,
chase them.
yeah, well, the sappers are very, very far away, and they almost got caught by the PGs, so maybe this was a bit
And we
ambitious
have
for me.
LG40. I think double AT gun would be better.
Yeah, I don't know why he has like full 40 manpower. I think the munitions would have been better used for mines.
Yeah, LG40 also has less range than a standard AT gun, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, definitely.
So it makes it even harder to catch the Humber.
I mean, it comes faster, so I understand the like idea behind it, but I'm not sure it was that urgent to get some AT on the field.
Sector now under enemy. Ready to follow. Weapons on your mark.
And I don't know why Nub is going for a med bunker. Could just invest in the 150 manpower.
Yeah.
Should be enough.
I think heal bunkers now a 2v2 thing.
No, it's good in 1v1, but I think you make it later in the game.
Fair
At least
enough.
that's the way I do it.
So what should be Nico's next tech be? It feels like he's missing one infantry squad. This army look.
Yeah, I would
The
say
line
that.
looks-
Either an infantry squad or an MG. It's up to him, I think.
Territory sector lost.
Infantry section has to run.
Yeah, I should have backed him up a bit earlier. I think Nico should pick commander as well.
Canadian, ANC, or heavy? What should he pick?
The enemy
That's
has
a really good
taken our
question.
territory.
I think Canadian because I might be biased, but I think Collins are still so bonkers that they give you such a big edge in tight games.
Yeah, but Nico has the advantage on the fuel. So if he wants, you can go for the platoon command post and recall the hammer. Like, oh shit, sorry.
We have finished the research.
Some people are offering fireworks close to my house somehow.
No worries.
But yeah, I think here Nico makes the 4th infantry squads and go for the platoon command post ASAP.
Take up and get the foot guard.
Pioneer infantry killed.
I don't know about foot
Pioneer got
guards.
picked off.
I think with the PGs in the field, that's a bit dangerous.
By the way,
Victory
we have
point
now a
lost.
double flamethrower Royal
Yep.
Engineer.
Okay, I think not going for another ATN is a mistake. Doesn't need one more. He's just like using his manpower not very wisely, I think.
This was an amazing smoke.
Yeah.
Holy smoke. Why is it not shooting? Oh, because it's inside of the smoke.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I think both the players right now are making very micro mistake. Like Nico has way too much manpower, and Nub paid for a second AT gun that is a bit useless. Like the Ember is not that much of a threat on the battlefield.
I think it's tournament nerfs. It's the second tournament
yeah.
for Nico. And last tournament, I don't want to say he got a little bit lucky, but he was lucky to get that far. Had decent match, and even though he could have went further, he was really playing well against Red Wings, but decided to throw due to tournament nerfs. I know there's the pressure to be better. And Nap, I think Nap is also under a lot of pressure. Obviously, he has more tournament experience, but still.
Well, two of us, because I played a bit with Nub, I can say that he's not that much worried about tournaments. Like, he played them for fun. So,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think he has that much nerds.
to be fair though, even when I played during just for fun in tournaments, I was still like...
Yeah, you're always a bit playing a bit more seriously than not a match, but I don't know. Because I think he made like
As reinforcements.
PG is a bit useless,
We have lost
at least for
control
my
of the victory
taste.
point.
Mad Bunker was kind of a waste of 20 manpower and 70 munitions, which you could like use to plant mines.
To be fair though,
So
Wehrmacht 2 is not really ammo, tier 3 is not really ammo intense.
yeah, but then you plant mines.
Fair enough.
That's what makes you win games as Wehrmacht.
Location secure. They want it back.
Yeah, I don't know why Nico made an AT gun.
Yeah, AT gun
Same
is panic AT gun. Or scared AT gun. Panic is not.
Yeah,
he's
scared AT gun.
scared.
Turn fire.
Yeah, 100 munitions. Maybe Nico is gonna make a third Brent, but I would make at least one
One
recon
Recce for the
sections.
artillery.
Yeah,
it-
just for the flares as well.
The flares are so good. Humber could be a little bit more aggressive on the flanks. In my opinion, if you know that the enemy went AT guns to counter your Humber, you can play
Yeah, but
more
as you
aggressively on the flanks. Because AT guns
As you
can't be
said, there is,
everywhere.
I think, a bit of tournament nerves in Nico's part. And maybe he's not that confident in his micro as well.
Fair enough, fair enough.
We're ready. Enemy in.
But I don't really know what the next step is. I think Nub should make a
Taking a victory point.
Sostruppen, but
Both have tier 4 up.
yeah. But Nico should be able to get a tank faster. Although, because there is 2 AT gun on the field, it might not be that much useful.
Stoßtruppen on the field. Stoßtruppen will hurt really badly.
Yeah.
Victory point lost.
Thing is, Nub is getting owned by so few units. Like, he's not on point in his positioning right now.
Yeah.
Well, great shot. Yeah, 600 manpower is
Been relinquished to us.
a real mistake at this level.
Listen up, Max. Boris.
I would make maybe foot guard right now, but
I think against Stostrup might be a problem,
yeah.
but they're so good against tanks, especially against P4, and since Nico knows that not meant for airborne, there is not much else what can be coming.
Our enemy has control of
So-
the whole victory point.
Yeah, he has almost 1,000 manpower. God damn it.
Accuse Crusader and foot guard.
Yeah, I mean, or he could even make a MG position, you know, to like lock down some part of the maps.
I think that's actually a nice idea. If either the AT guns get forced to deal with it, and then they
Yeah.
are not in the middle, or he holds easily a VP.
Yeah, but again,
We have
because
lost the sector.
Nub is not playing very well, like, he's getting forced out of his like. The Stostrup not fighting in the south is a huge mistake as well. Like, that's 3 80 manpower just capping a VPs.
And no
That's not
fuel.
what you need.
No, yeah, they should be fighting.
That's the like mission for Pio or
The
Grenadiers, I don't know. Because like
the thing, Nap should move the Stostrup with a Grenadier for merge through the middle and push till he meets proper resistance.
yeah.
And not like this Stoßtruppen on the field and they'll immediately forced off by the Crusader
You have
because there's
3
no AT
command
gun
points
support
at your disposal.
on the flanks.
Yeah, and I think the P4 is a mistake. Like, he doesn't know there are guards coming, but with 2 AT guns I would make a broom bar, because that's something that will allow him to hold on the map.
The thing is though, double AT gun Brumba is really like not mobile, and it always feels Nico can still pick anything like an off-map battle group, then build up over time a Crusader train and then go in, throw off-map,
That's
and
where
Nap
mines comes in.
collapses. Yeah, but for this you need mines. I think there was
He has, like,
0
100
mines.
munitions.
Panzer Field,
No.
field ready.
And what's the P4s on the field with? Well, they're the Fulgent Pioneers, so technically he has 2 Pioneers for mine planting. But still, with the
Yeah.
P4 on the field, you will be more busy repairing and capping than planting mines.
And there is a second Crusader coming on the 3rd one anytime soon, I think. Right now, if I was Nico, I would make another sapper and maybe a fuel cache.
We have a
Oh,
surplus of
okay.
command points available.
We will see one wide. AT gun now coming in clutch.
No. Oh wow, that was so lucky.
Commandant.
Oh boy. And
Yeah,
now we see the
And
disadvantage
Nico
of
made the right call of pushing.
and now off map and the game is over.
That's kinda GG, yeah.
Not even need an AT off map.
Oh my god, yeah.
Our
Oh,
heavy
whoa.
artillery has been overrun.
Well, that was a massacre.
Has been destroyed.
That is what kinda happens at the moment a lot when people play AT guns. AT gun gets one volley off, but there's no front line to screen the AT guns and then they just disappear.
Yeah, I think if you want to play like Wehrmacht Panzer Grenadier Company, you need at least 3 Grenadiers.
You
To
need
have like
flare
a distant
option
front
and you
line.
need infantry that can stab the
merge.
ground.
Yeah, on merge. And I think you need the Stummel is actually pretty good against the Humber, because you can make a lot of damage, like do a lot of damage to the Humber. So, but yeah, like the game is over right now.
Enemy
Yeah.
infantry are ready to be paradropped. HQ is under attack. We must clear them out.
Nice try with the satchel. And now
What did you ban, Nub? You're saying that you're scared of reparation,
Forces have captured a victory point.
didn't he ban Australia?
and you ban
Ready
OSIS.
for orders.
He lost the Crusader.
OBJ Italian artillery destroyed.
How?
Well,
Sector lost.
well, I mean, Crusader might die, but
Headquarters is touched.
game is off.
Yeah. 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. But I'm more inclined to say that Nub played very badly. I mean, Nico played well, but Nub didn't play very well. So
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the ace game between Nico and Nub. After the amazing game number 2 where Nico showed how to play Brits, or how Nub showed how to play T-Guns, Kappa, what will happen on Villa Fury? What are you expecting, Mr. Aussie?
I think going for Dak is a good idea because Villa is a map with a lot of map to cover. I need the mobility. I would almost say that going Brits is kind of a mistake. Like, mobility is key on this map. Brits are not very mobile.
Nico doesn't
So
like
we'll
USF
see.
though. He think he's not really good with it.
Yeah, but if you want to win tournaments, I think you have to be able to play
Every
all the
faction?
factions.
Yeah. But I rather play a sub-barb faction than a faction I can't play.
Yeah, well, if you feel better about it, that's true. So, but here, I'm more convinced by Nub. How do you say it? Capping order and the way he plays. Like, he pushed a bit with the Ketten, or the Krachotin, and now he's having the Krad and the Peaches close by. So he's able to have a good fight with both of the units.
But Dingo will say no.
Yeah, sure, but he doesn't, like, here he's just losing time, not manpower. And that's the key thing you want to do as a DAC, I think.
Yeah. And to be fair, losing the first bit of health on the bike in the first engagement isn't that bad. You just drive to a point, capture it, and self-repair.
Yeah, I think the only downside is that you're giving some, how can I say that, veterancy to the Dingo, but I mean, that's gonna happen anyway, so...
Nice move by
You have to
Nico,
deal with
driving
him.
around the whole circle just to get some back shots on the Grenadiers, who just jumped onto the green cover on the other side of the
Yeah, but
front.
here, you see, I think that's a mistake, because he's gonna open himself to getting shot with the Dingo, and while doing that, he didn't click on the sections soon, so he's gonna be a bit late with it, and like the Dingo damage output is not that great, so like see, here the Sapper is gonna get gangbanged by 3 squads,
Yeah.
and
Maybe he
That's
can
the way
do
you
a little
play
bit
Dak.
hiding.
yeah, but like you as Dak, you are a bit forced to play very packed and blobby, so I really don't like the third PG as Dak. I think another Panzer Pyre is way better, but
I will
guess
fight
that's-
you on that, but I'm a 2v2 player,
that's
so my
just me.
opinion might be invalidated.
yeah, maybe in 2v2, but I think in 1v1, like the PG reinforced cost is like what, 32 manpower, something like that.
Yeah, something like this.
32 manpower. I just checked. And as Dak, you really need to keep the tempo, especially with the way your manpower economy works. So
What do you need?
Dingo hit veterancy 1.
yeah, which means RT barrage might come.
By the way, I
I
will be
just want to-
pretty mad if Nico... Nice usage of the Dingo as green cover to cap.
Oh yeah, that's a very good idea. Indeed.
A victory point is being taken from us.
By the way,
Yeah,
now
no-
you can delay heal for a little bit till you have the Humber out because the Dingo can also heal. I think
Yeah.
people often
Enemy has
forget
taken a
that.
victory point.
Yeah, probably. Ooh,
Research complete.
Nub lost
Support
a
weapons
bit
are
too much
available.
of infantry for my taste, but
Overall, I would say that was a really good engagement for Nico. A lot of manpower down the drain for one model and a little bit of damage in the Dingo.
yeah, but I guess delaying the Hamburg was a good, like, is a pretty nice trade-off. Because I think now the Amber is gonna get out at the same moment of the Panzerjäger squad, so...
Snares.
Oh, he's gonna snared.
And he will be dead.
Oh, that might be dead. I would pull the Krat to kill the Dingo right now.
Veterancy.
Well, never
Yeah.
mind.
Never, not
Wasn't
even
needed.
Nico regained map control, 28 fuel per minute.
Yeah, but here he has no heals and only 4 sections in the field.
Enemy forward element!
He's not gonna be able to hold off his ground, I think.
Panzergrenadiers await orders!
Ah,
Oh, ANC.
Aaron C,
I
alright.
think it's the weakest Brit doctrine. But I might be wrong.
I think the weakest is maybe Injury. Because I think the LMG commandos are very, very good. The cash, even in 1v1s, are very good. And like AT loiter is decent, and you can use the recon flares, which I think are very good.
We see a normal commando instead of a Humber.
Yeah, I would have made this commando LMG on the Amber.
We have half-track
I
support
think
shields
that's
and
not a good
ready for
idea.
deployment.
Yeah, I agree.
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
I'm not a big fan of the commando, so I think that's my biggest problem. They're so
Enemy forces have
expensive
captured a
and
victory
so
point.
hard to use because they're
Yeah.
unless you get the ambush going, they don't do much.
Yep, definitely. Unlike because he paid 400 manpower,
Commandant,
and the
we
flak
have
noise
command points
coming.
available to us.
Doesn't have heals, and doesn't have AT as well. That's a very poor position.
We are losing grasp of a munitions point.
It's not even look at the pond grenadier how they'll come back home.
Yeah, I don't know how the Pogred is survived.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
Yeah, and again, I'm shocked by the lack of mines from the 3 games we've witnessed.
Territory
I really think you need to use them, like maybe less as DAC because the LMG upgrade is pretty important, but even as Brit, like just plant 1 or 2 mines near a cutoff,
A fuel point
and you
is
can
being
catch the
taken.
bike like that.
Our victory
Yeah,
point is
bike.
being
You never will
neutralized
kill
by
the bike
enemy.
without mines unless the.
Unless like your opponent makes some mistakes and
Yeah.
you don't want to block the mistakes.
Infantry available.
Oh, Stuart.
Territory sector lost.
I like
Yeah.
Stuart against Dagger.
I don't. I remember I played against Ruby on a 2 match. I was Brit, he was Dak, and like I lost pretty hard. And I told him like, how would you play Brit? And say I won't make any light vehicles. I think he's right.
Alright. I think Stuart is so good against because Dak has.
Yeah, but you
hard
just make 2
targets.
Panzerjägers, and you don't have a problem with the shots anymore.
Yeah, but the Panzerjägers are so damn expensive. In reinforcement cost. So if he goes double Panzerjägers, I would be happy.
Victory
I mean,
point under
you
enemy
call 1
control.
Panzerjägers, you build on the 1, and that's enough to counter all the shots your opponents can make. On like your opponents have to pay for the upgrade of the short and then make the shorts. So I think that's a fair trade,
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
at least the way I see it.
I feel like Panzerjägers are so expensive reinforcement boys that bleed
The enemy
a
has
lot.
taken a victory point.
I don't know. I feel like you play Panzerjägers like kind of like AT against, a bit behind lines, waiting in ambush.
Our territory is in enemy hands.
First Stuart is out.
And I mean, for all the shit talk we did about the commandos, I think they didn't lost a model yet.
I think they lost
So-
one model, and we got a good ambush going, but they're on hold fire, so they never shot.
Well, we can check on the unit's efficiency. Yeah. He lost, well, that's the second model lost in the commandos. Oh no, not even. Only 1 model lost.
Survival improvements
That's
and
actually
smoke canisters
decent.
are being requested for
But
vehicles.
still,
Yep.
the setup that you have to do to get decent damage with them isn't that easy.
No, that's good value, but that's not enough. I mean, just look at how the infantry section is doing so much better in the center. And you see, like, 1 Panzerjäger is enough to get rid of the short.
Survival packages for Panzercrews have arrived.
True,
Smoke canisters have
but
been recommitted.
I think if Nico had a third infantry section, He could zone out the Panzerjägers, or at least model damage, and then you will bleed to death. They're like 40 manpower, please.
Yeah,
Which is insane.
Because in my book you don't make a third PG, you are less prone to non-power bleed. I really think DAC is about like not that much infantry sections and a lot of light vehicles.
Yeah, I agree. You go have unless you play infantry heavy doctrine, like espionage.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't even like to play Bersas. I feel like Bersas are in... I mean, they're getting banned anyway in tournaments, but the way they work, they are kind of anti-DAC by design, so not convinced. Oh, whoa, that's a very tough retrieve.
Oh, that might be a gorger if Nico chases.
No, why did you move the squad?
Flag coming in clutch.
Oh, whoa, that was well played.
Saves the day!
Yeah.
And the tank hunters are not inside of the half track though.
I think Nubs need a med truck right now. I don't think the 250 is enough. Ooh. Oh no, well the 50 is almost that one, so...
Second Stuart is on the way.
Pass me the fuse.
Light vehicle training is on the way.
Nub went for minefields. Oh, there's a teller planted.
That's a teller. Erriger.
That's why you don't go light vehicle spams or Stuart.
Stuart survived.
Because mine... yeah, but it's a sitting duck on with a... Like, Panzerjägers in the
that's true, but they survive.
Our fuel point is being neutralized.
It's not
by
like the
enemy.
Humber. And with 2 Royal Engineers, sweepers should be the problem.
Yeah, but no sweepers.
Yeah,
We're losing grasp of a victory
that's a
point.
player issue though.
Unspooling wire. Gloves on. Wire laid where you wanted it.
We have lost control of a victory point.
Has Nub paid for the smokes? I wonder.
Territory lost.
Yes. Yeah, on that, no, Nub going T3, I think that's a good call.
Oh, we have a flag out
Oh
of
well, but that's
position.
that's a flag track.
And that's what I meant with Stuarts are the bane of...
Oh my god, if the flag track lives...
Nah, the flag can't live.
We're losing grasp of the capture.
It can't.
Oh.
There we go.
50 points.
Well,
They
can't.
are stubborn.
That was way too close for my taste.
Yeah, and I think the late retreat might cost the life of... No, infantry section will get away.
Oh my god, Honestro died.
Enemy hands.
I wouldn't be too... I think it's a good trade though.
I'm not sure.
Stuarts are relatively cheap, and Flak is such a corner piece of tank that wiping... But look at the infantry wipes for Nico. Yeah, he's kinda dead anyways.
Oh whoa, I didn't... Keep in mind, yeah, whoa, yeah, 2 squads.
He
That,
lost 2
that
squads.
sucks. Well then, that's not worth it anymore.
that was... I think wiping is trading off 1 Stuart against
Territory overrun.
the Flak is worth, because Flak is so strong.
Yeah, but I think, like, in his position, he needed the double stride to keep presence on the map, even more with losing
Yeah,
2
victory
squads.
point. Armory upgrade on. Victory point under enemy control.
Ah, Nico, 100 munitions, not planting mines.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Yeah, this is a really lackluster the mine gaming in this set.
Especially
Enemy
against
taking
DAC.
Victory point.
Especially against
Infantry
DAC.
cover and hold ground where possible. Our fuel point.
What
is
the
being
hell, naval
neutralized by the
blockade?
enemy.
Alright.
I don't know even
That's
know
new.
what it does.
We found the first
Enemy cannot capture neutral territory and resource point when active. Okay. I don't know what it does.
Territory sector has been claimed by the enemy.
I think I never saw it once.
Yeah, me too. Nico needs an HE gun, not another infantry squad.
He needs a lot of things.
Yeah, but with the LMG commandos, on the commandos on a regular infantry squad, I think he has enough map presence to make an HE gun. Like, because commando support section is very, very good.
Proximity
But the
alarm
picture is
near
coming.
Victory point.
Enemy presence! We can't stay here! Panzergrenadiers have the sectors.
Enemy forces
To be
have
fair though,
captured the
Stuart
victory point.
fares well against MP3 if it has no upgrades.
Yeah, but there's no HE gun to back up the Stuart.
Yeah, but the P3 has upgrades.
That's why I'm calling for an HE gun.
Panzer 3 on station.
Oh my god, the precision on the Panzerschreck. Oh,
Territory sector out of contact.
Well,
that's kind of bullshit.
they drink their milk.
No, you don't need the nades as well. No, like nades with 2 infantry squads is what do you call?
And Nico's now in the pickle.
Yeah. And you know what? With the commandos, you have an H nade. So, wow. I think you should go in with the P3 and kill the Stuart right now.
Yeah, with Stuart.
That trade would be worth it.
The transport.
The game is over. Oh, it would be
I don't
more
know.
over. If the Stuart dies, I think so.
An HE gun could help.
Yeah, but he will never be able to defend the AT gun.
Yeah. But I think that this game really shows that Nico is a good player, but like he has not good microgestion yet.
I think he has a lot of auto-match brain going on at the moment.
Yeah, but I think that even in auto-match, like the mistake he made with when he lost like 2 infantry squads while microing the Stuart, like that's a way too big mistake. That's cost him the game, I think.
Yeah, I agree though. That's true.
Because I think like the decision making is not that bad.
Utility truck has arrived.
I think the commando was definitely not optimal, but if you want to play with it, I can't blame you. So, well, the only saving grace of Nico would be to spam Stuart right now, but doesn't seem to be very keen on that.
Yeah, he's tacking up.
I think he paid for the light vehicle training.
Yeah, he paid
Yeah.
for it.
Yep. Just embrace the Stuart spam.
Our capture point is being
I think though the
secured
Shrek
by the enemy.
Jaegers are also Stuart pretty well.
Yeah, we come back to what I said. Don't make light vehicles, or at least don't spam them. Oh, whoa.
I
Shot
still
left.
think Stuart is great against DAG.
The territory
But
sector
not
has been
against this
claimed by the
battle group.
enemy.
Yeah, I suppose.
Nico is playing on because it's ace game. You never wanna surrender prematurely in ace game.
No,
but,
definitely.
but he's so dead. He has no weapon
Yeah.
upgrades. He has no infantry training.
It doesn't have VPs as well.
He has no VP control. He has nothing. He has not even like PopCap advantage or something like this.
No. He's just behind on almost every front.
And the problems are getting bigger and bigger. Like once deck is able to spam P3s, it becomes really fast, really uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, second P3s is like I don't know why he tacked up to the company command post. I think you make 20 guns and you just like
Yeah, and
spawn one
pray.
VPs.
And pray. But I think 80
And
guns
when-
would have been so hard to defend.
Well, there was only one P3, so
Yeah, but
Our victory point is being
triple
neutralized by the
palm
enemy.
grenadiers with such a weak grid infantry melee, they would have just gotten overrun.
I mean he had 2 infantry sections and 1 LMG, so oh well. That's kind of bullying there for Nico.
But yeah, the commando is on the field for like 10 minutes or so, right? Even more, that's only with one.
I think if you want to go for the commandos, you first begin with the LMG commando paradrop because they are like stormtroopers. So it's very easy to use, and maybe later you make a commando section. But I think going commando first is a mistake.
Yeah. Are we going to see 100% map control by NUP?
Maybe.
Pull out of engine improvement.
It doesn't have the bike anymore, so
Vehicles will be able to secure territory shortly.
that really hurts the capping. Oh, well, that was brittle.
Yeah. They could really fall apart there.
Yeah, sadly.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back. Thanks for stepping by, Mr. Ozzy. Thanks for
Yes.
jumping in. Next, we will do Theodosius against Reckley. I think that will be an amazing set. So, see you in a sec.
See you.
We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.